Good evening, folks. How are you today? Sorry, Reed, I got some new stuff pop. Anyway, so tonight we've got a bit of a show to do. Let me share this to a few folks real quick. Get some of my mods in here. What's up there, Jenny? Froggy Master 7. Just give me a moment here, folks. I'm trying to get a few more people in here before we get started. Yep. Good looking. All right. So, first off, we're going to talk about some channel changes that are going to be going on. May have noticed I've recently I finally decided to monetize, get some ad revenue coming in. You know, if we can get this thing sort of self-sustainable, have it pay for itself, that'd be all right. Most of these shows, time, energy, you know, if it costs me money, so I'm trying to balance out a little bit. If I make a couple bucks, that's all right. We can go ahead and upgrade some things. But you know, so now that I've monetized, I'm sort of trying to adapt to that, as well as, to be honest, the 2 hours on a Friday night's kind of long. So what I'm likely going to start doing is, I think I'm going to do more than one night a week. Thinking about doing, you know, Monday evening, Monday night. You know, I put a little poll out. It took some times. Still working it out with my own personal schedule. What's up, Dimmer? But I'm likely gonna back up for a second. What's up, James? But yeah, I'm likely gonna just probably try to keep the Friday night show to an hour, and then I'm going to probably start doing a Monday evening show. And I do have plans to eventually. I might do something on Wednesdays, but I think on Wednesdays, what's up there, Real Jingy? On Wednesdays, I might not do the live feeds. Monday and Friday, I'm going to do the live thing. You know, Friday nights will stay the same, so it'll be Friday. But I'm going to try to do, you know, more of the newsy stuff on Monday evenings. We'll keep it legal, essentially, on Fridays. You know, things directly related to the law. But, you know, there's interesting stuff that pops up in the news. It's not always directly related to this, but still somewhat, you know, kind of connected, or could be, has the potential to be. So I'm probably going to start doing, you know, more of a news feel kind of thing on Mondays. And then Wednesdays, long story short, you know, I've been brushing up on my video skills. I got somebody sort of showing me the ropes. A lot easier to do once somebody shows you the way. Not as hard as you would have thought it was. But on Wednesdays, I'm gonna start doing a video that I've made. And I'm, you know, Wednesdays, I think I'm gonna show you the town of LaPorte. I'm gonna show you where I live. I'm going to show you, you know, this wonderful place that I'm always ranting and raving about politicians fucking up and how it has all this potential. I'm going to show you the town that I live in, so you can, what's up there, John? So you can, you know, see the, you know, the bigger picture in my brain. Why I don't just move away and go somewhere where there's less problems. You know, why, as somebody who's not even from this town, I think it's so important to put this effort into holding my government accountable. So I'm going to show you every Wednesday. I don't know when I'm going to start. I'm hoping to start next week, maybe. working on, the first video that I'm going to do like this still. But yes, it is, Jenny. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a very beautiful area. I'd love to show you guys why I enjoy living here. Not everything about LaPorte, Indiana is fucked up. The government's fucked up. A lot of the roads are messed up. I gotta stop cussing as much in these monetized videos. Anyway, a lot of the roads, and things of this nature. But we have 7 lakes in this town. It's a town of 22,000 people. It's not that big. There's a lot of water though. The town was actually built on wetlands, years and years and years ago. So we have a lot of lakes, and we have, I think, something like 18 parks. So 7 lakes, 18 parks, and it's set up fairly uniquely. I don't drive. I don't like to drive. There's nothing really in this town that I can't walk to. And that we are getting here in Northwest Indiana. We are getting bike trails and bike paths and things of this nature all over the place. So here is LaPorte. If you notice, there's a bunch of lakes and some residential area here. The bikes and the bike paths and trails and all this stuff, they're very useful if you live an active lifestyle. Thank you, Civilian X. See how this works out. But yeah, if you live in LaPorte and you have an active lifestyle, this place is amazing. I like to canoe. I like to kayak. I like to hike. I like to bird watch. I enjoy nature and being outside in general. It's an awesome town if you're into being outside, nature, fitness, activity. Not so much the sporty stuff, but you just want to maintain some sort of active lifestyle to stay in shape. LaPorte, Indiana is a great town to live in, and it's beautiful. So got a little into that, but I'm pretty excited to do these shows on Wednesdays. As I said, these will not be live. This is going to be a compilation of lots and lots of footage that I've taken over the years when I'm not interacting with the government or the police, just more casual kind of stuff. So I've got a lot of nature stuff, but I'm also just sort of going to walk around town and get footage to give you a real-time feel, sort of weekly, and just show you just various parts of LaPorte. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Mondays, like I said, I'm going to be doing the news thing. I'm going to focus a little bit on my local news stuff, because I've got a good bit of my locals that check my show out from time to time, and I'm trying to engage them more. So I'm going to try to report a little bit more on local issues in LaPorte and LaPorte County during this Monday. We're going to call these miscellaneous Mondays. Anyway, on miscellaneous Mondays, I'm going to try to touch on just miscellaneous news things that are sort of relevant to different issues that you may be interested in if you're watching my shows. If you're watching my lives, there's a good chance you'll be interested in some of the stuff that I'm going to be putting out on Mondays as well. Like I said, the Wednesday shows are pretty much for everybody. This is just to show off this town, show you the other side of it, the good side of LaPorte, because there's a great side of this town. But the Monday shows, like I said, I'm going to do some local news, and then I'll touch on, national and global stuff, things of this nature. But, Monday and Friday, I'm basically going to split up the time that I'm doing these Friday night shows into 2 shows. So you're going to get just as much content from me, it'll just likely be better. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna check this chat real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm doing a shorter show tonight, so I've got a good bit of stuff lined up for you guys. Anyway, all right. So, well, we have not started the Monday miscellaneous yet, so we're gonna do a little bit of local news tonight, just to report on it. But how's crime down there? We're gonna get out of Illinois and wanting to go south. Well, to be honest, John, things are getting better. We got a new prosecutor. He seems to be a pretty straight shooter. And so far I like him. A lot of my community's growing restless. Waiting on him to do something big to prove his worth, but things take time, especially when you do them right. So I anticipate, he may clean up a few crooked things around here. I don't anticipate he can do it all in 4 years, to be honest, but it's just one guy. But it's getting better. People do drugs everywhere. I don't think anybody can ever really get rid of the drug problem. People do drugs because life sucks. It's an escape. Anywhere you go where it sucks and people are going to want to escape, they're probably going to have drugs there. With that, sometimes not, comes more crime than other locations. But I'm pretty active on social media. I'm always reading comments from locals in my community, to be apprised of issues that are going on around here. You can learn a lot from just everyday conversations. What's up there, Regina? Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Anyway, it's getting better. Things are getting a lot better. We're getting there, but it seems now they're starting to clean up the everyday trivial crime, and then they just fuck up massively on one crime. And they'll just botch a case completely out of the history books, kind of mistake. But like I said, here and there, they're picking chunks off of the greater problem. You're always going to have drugs and stuff, but other than that, man, it's kind of an all right place to live. If you can get past the politicians bleeding everybody dry and never putting any of the money into the parts of the community that people wanted into, there's problems like this everywhere, but all in all, it's not too bad. A lot of people that are really happy living here, raise their kids here. I meet some genuinely happy people that live here. They like the area. I'm not even from here, but I love it here. So I don't know if that says much. Anyway, so let's get to where they don't do such a great job at, huh? So if you watch my videos, you may have seen that I have a ongoing debate with the local courthouse and the county commission attorney and some other individuals, the sheriff's department, basically because these things, old school Game Boys that look like smartphones. Anyway, these are not allowed in the courthouse. There's an electronic ban. And according to this January 4th, 2019 letter from Friedman and Associates, Mr. Shaw Friedman, the county commission attorney for the LaPorte County Commission, blah, 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 your phone query. I have reviewed the judge's August 5th, 2013 order. While you have every right to attend public meetings of the county commission and county council and the county complex and record and observe such proceedings with your cell phone, as long as you're not disruptive, you do not have a similar right to bring a cell phone into the courthouse. Spoiler alert, he's wrong. The federal courthouses and nearly all county courthouses in Indiana prohibit cell phones on the premises to prevent any unauthorized taping of court proceedings and also to prevent incidental taping outside a given courtroom of litigants, particularly juvenile parties whose identities are to be protected from public knowledge. The public policy reasons behind such uniform, consistently enforced bans are plainly evident. So, yes, Gary, Indiana, if you're referring to Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. They're from Indiana. Anyway, so, particularly juvenile parties, the public policy reasons behind such uniform, consistently enforced bans are plainly evident. In other words, there is no federal constitutional deprivation of state law violation you can claim or assert regarding such courthouse bans, since another manner of duplication of records is readily available to you. So, long story short, cell phones are not allowed in the courthouse. You got to protect juvenile parties. The public policy reasons behind such a uniform, consistently enforced bans are plainly evident. Let's see. I'm sorry. What does that say? Does that say see child porn, page A3? Courthouse guard arrested for child pornography charges. Child pornography charges. This would be a Mr. Joe J. Lopez, an 18-year county employee who worked security at the LaPorte County courthouses in Michigan City and LaPorte, was arrested at 10 a.m. Wednesday morning, 2 days ago. He was arrested by the Michigan City Police Department. Now, naturally, because he's an officer charged under cause number 46 C01-1903-F6-000319, and probable cause was filed March 7th, 2019. Basically, being that he was an officer, I watched the entire internet locally go through this whole, innocent until proven guilty, and we don't know that he did it, and so the newspaper article today is that basically he knowingly admits to possession of child pornography. He doesn't deny it at all. He claims that it was a hobby, a pastime is the word they use. Thousands of images of children under 8 to 9 years old. Some as old as 12, but very young children, pornography. And he claims that he's a 50-year-old dude and he lives by himself, and this is basically his hobby. He collects pictures of naked children. Now this motherfucker, this is the dude responsible. Now I go to bring my phone in the courthouse. This is the guy that's going to be there standing at the metal detector telling me that I can't. See that? It's 9:29 right now. Okay? It's a fucking clock. You see that? A watch? I don't have watches. Now, I've been in the courthouse. I've recorded. You can look around. Ain't no fucking clocks anywhere in the building. And they're real dickheads about telling you what time it is. I don't know why, they think that this is some sort of fucking thing that they should do. But above all, I would like to know what fucking time it is when I'm in this building. That's why I carry a phone. So I can get a hold of people and I can know what time it is in case of an emergency. Things like this. So I understand there's a court order, go through the process, all this bullshit. I'm going to sue these motherfuckers. That's the whole go through the thing. The go through the process. I'll go through the process. That's fine. It's going to waste a bunch of money and make a bunch of fucking people look stupid, especially now. But it's this kind of shit. You know what I mean? This is your local attorney fucking retard quoting some sort of national security nonsense, blah, 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 blah. juvenile parties. That's what we're doing it for, to keep the kids safe. You can't have your phone in here because you might take pictures of kids. I might take pictures of kids. Me. I'm here for 3 criminal charges right now. I just want to not get a failure to appear. But you're going to accuse me of taking pictures of somebody's kid while they're closed. But you got this guy who's been working here for 18 years. This dude's been working for 18 years. And if you see him, this dude's a pedophile. Like, he looks like a pedophile. This is textbook fucking in the dictionary. This is what a pedophile looks like. But I'm the one. I'm the one that's being accused of taking pictures of kids if I want to have a fucking clock. If I want to be able to go in here and take pictures of campaign expenditures in the clerk's office, and I tell them that, they quote this, you might take pictures of somebody's kids. Kids that are there in court, litigants, juvenile litigants, you know, all by themselves, just running around representing themselves in court, like little, you know, immigration attorneys. But old Joe here, yeah, you see, Joe Lopez was security for close to 2 decades. Kind of makes it all sound fucking full circle stupid, huh? I mean, they couldn't have set me up any better to fucking say how ridiculously nonsensical this is. But like I said, the man's already admitted to guilt, supposedly. Yep, use security, the kids and damsels in distress to justify rights violations. Yes, sex offenders tend to do that, place themselves into positions of law enforcement, things that, you know, real helpful, do-gooder type motherfuckers. This is a normal thing. Michael Christensen, he's another local pedophile. He got himself a volunteer position in the trustee's office. He was just helpful as well. And it's because he's trying to turn LaPorte into a pedo haven, and he's trying to, you know, learn how to work the process at the trustee's office to get people who are recently released from prison as pedophiles to come to LaPorte and be homeless, and then you know, because they're homeless, they get set up to the trustee's office. You know, like I said, it's fairly common for sex offenders to interject themselves into, you know, positions like this to where they're able to sort of get away with it. Now, like I said, the thing is fairly new, so we're going to see how it plays out. There's already been one recusal. One of the judges has recused so far. He was arraigned this morning at like 8:30, so we'll see. New, you know, very, very new, so we'll see how it plays out, but pretty fucked up, you know, and the Sheriff's Department is pretty much just trying to cover their ass. They've already removed him off their website. They've claimed that he had no access to computers while he was working there for the entire 18 years that he worked there. He never fucking had access to a computer the entire time that he worked for the courts. You know, and mind you, they're calling him a civilian employee. But the motherfucker's got a badge and a uniform on when you walk in the building. He's a civilian employee, though. So they're very much so downplaying it. Like I said, they've taken his profile off the webpage. You know, they're acting like he's just a nobody, some guy that we hired for 6 months and we didn't know. But he's been working there for 18 years, close to 2 decades. January 2018, the Sheriff's Department was very proud to call him an employee of 17 years. But anyway, this is why I want to fix LaPorte. Yeah, so we'll get to some more stuff here. Let's get to some more fun attorney stuff here. So, in my welfare check videos, I end up with a welfare check. Not the welfare check that, like, my trolls think I get because I'm disabled, and automatically disabled means I'm a worthless piece of shit living off the tax money. I mean, a welfare check, like 2 police officers show up, claim they're on lunch, sit there waiting for human resources, because I'm waiting for human resources, naturally. That's what they're there for, too. Anyway, the individual's on lunch, so they sit there, and then, they basically run themselves up by continuously talking and contradicting themselves, because when their chief shows up, he exclaims that they're not there on lunch. They're doing a welfare check. Not on me. Not a welfare check on me. A welfare check on the building. And during this interaction, the 2 officers are on their phone a good bit, thus creating public records while they're being employed. While they're on shift, they're creating public documents on their phone. And then they, when I disengage with them and I leave, I tell them, as I'm making a joke, because, they tend to not file reports, specifically in this local DUI case with an EMT where he killed 2 people and 3 cops let him go. They don't file a report because there's no report necessary. There is a report necessary, but that's obviously they never know what the fuck they're talking about. They just usually don't go to trial and say the shit, on the record in front of a judge, because that's perjury. Anyway, so like I said, I tell them to make this report. They say that there's no need to make a report, and okay. So I request the report. They're right. They didn't make a report. No records responsive to your request. So a couple days later, then, what I decided to do was, well, I requested their text messages. You see, they're on those phones playing around, and they're definitely not on lunch. They're doing a welfare check on the building. So I requested their text messages. And, well, I got them. Yeah. He is upstairs, sitting up here, waiting for. We are fine. Just, he is nervous. Waiting for who? Nick Otis? Waiting on someone. He won't say. Everything is closed. Yep. Oh, Stoner, are you mad? Are you a lawyer? Do you got a law degree that's now fucking worthless because a motherfucker can just take their ass to the library? I'm sorry, bud. You can come cry on my page. We love when you trolls cry about how I'm not as smart as I thought I was anymore. Anyway, let's talk about why. Informal inquiry 16-INF-30. Text messages. November 23rd, 2016. Whenever a public employee or official is memorializing public business in writing by whatever medium, the resulting document becomes a public record. Pursuant to Indiana Code 5-14-3-2, in parentheses, lowercase, the very definition of public record leaves no doubt text messages are indeed public business records. June 15th, 2018. Emails of judicial officers. Text messages. Generally, unless an exception applies, emails are disclosable public records under the Access to Public Records Act, Indiana. Yeah, I seen that today. Laughs in 40% co-spousal abuse rate. Anyway, so text messages, emails, social media accounts, all that shit's public record in Indiana. Text messages, though, are definitely public record. One thing that's very interesting about the text messages and public records here in Indiana is the retention schedule. You see, text messages are considered a general document, which means they have a general retention schedule, i.e. 3 years. This officer has resigned. These text messages are from August 24th, 2018. She resigns the end of October, I believe. In the beginning of November, they're requesting to fill her position based upon resignation. I requested these a couple weeks ago, tops. So that means that this officer resigned 6 months before I requested her text messages. And I got them. It's as simple as that. You have a lot more power than you think, as long as you know what to say, when and where to say it. So that's about it for my local stuff. So we're going to get into a few more things here. The good stuff here. All right, so let's see. We'll do a quick one in Indiana. It's oh man, I don't have it off the top of my head right now, and it's easily available. It's 2019, man. Google this shit. Like, you can't be that stupid that you're just gonna come into a chat and be like, unless you can post this information right now, it's not real. Google that shit. You got a phone in your hand right now. Quit being a fucking idiot. Just Google it. It's true. Like, this is the wrong place to try to fact check a motherfucker, for real. You're in the lion's den with that. We know our shit around here. Anyway. Hold on. Small cup today. Let me go get a refill. All right. So, yeah, he's pretty mad. Fuck him. This is a good place to come to get mad, though. For real. Oh, IH Sook. You're here to comment how rude I am. You're real quiet until I do something that you can fucking focus on like an idiot, like going and get a refill on my coffee. I did fill up my beverage prior to beginning this video. You see, though, I actually like coffee, so I drank the first cup. Now we're on number 2. So rude. Yeah, I believe she did. It was being that I went to the restroom. I had to go piss, a bodily function, and it was rude to be on the video for like an hour. That and I not an I. What? We don't care. I don't care. Nobody gives a shit. Don't care. Like, anyway. So, others from Indiana: Axl Rose, Larry Bird, What's up there, Michelle? David Letterman, Vivica Fox, James Dean. Yes, all from Indiana. Axl Rose is from Lafayette, I believe. Vivica Fox is from Indianapolis, I think. James Dean is from Fairmount. Larry Bird's from French Lick. I forget where David Letterman's from. There's a few others as well. The dude from Friday, Mike Epps, I believe he's from Indianapolis as well. There's a lot. There's a range of famous people from Indiana. Anyway, specifically, like, here's a kid right now from Indiana that's famous for the time being. He's got his 15 minutes. He's from Granger, Indiana, and he shot his dad in the ass. His dad's a state trooper. So we got an 8-year-old boy in Granger, Indiana, and his dad basically was being a dick and took his video games away from him. So the kid shot him in the ass. And then the kid further goes on to basically say, essentially, that was a warning shot. If he doesn't get his video games back, Dad's got another ass pop coming. Anyway, I don't condone the violence in children, but this is kind of a funny thing. Even cops' kids don't like him. This kid shot his dad in the ass. It's probably more than just the video games. I imagine that was the final straw. He's been putting up with the cops' bullshit for about 8 years. But anyway, state trooper in Granger, Indiana. Kid shot him in the ass. Kid says he'll do it again. So, maybe that officer is going to get some perspective. Not all problems can be solved with just shooting someone. I, as an officer, need to be able to teach my offspring this shit so that I can sleep safely in my house without getting shot in the ass. That's going to require some deep introspective thought on the part of this officer. Him and his kid are likely about to have some conversations about the use of physical force to solve their problems. Now, this kid's being charged with, like, attempted murder in juvenile court or some shit. So, they're probably going to fuck up his entire life. But, maybe him and Dad will work it out. But anyway, just a short little tidbit there. Another one we have, this is in Florida. Woman named Nancy King. This would be Nancy King et al. Versus the Board of County Commissioners for Polk County, Florida. Number 18-10631. Docket number 816-CV-02651-BMC-TBN. Anyway, so this ruling came out March 1st, 2019. It's not a big deal. Not like Indiana Supreme Court or anything. It's just a, what is it? It's the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. But this woman was suing. The context of this makes it kind of interesting, and could potentially make it more of an issue in the future moving along. Somebody's going to quote this case eventually, and then that case will be ruled on, so on and so forth. Anyway, this woman was the medical director. She did the medical qualifications for firefighters for about 15 years. And long story short, she tried to do the right thing. According to her paperwork and everything, she noticed that a firefighter was being denied qualification to get hired on as a fire officer, and she didn't agree with the way things were going because they were obviously wrong. She's been in her position for 15 years. So she essentially played the part of a whistleblower and experienced a non-renewal of her contract shortly later. So she sues and claims that all of her she basically claims that her First Amendment protected activity had been retaliated against. And what ends up happening is she lost, but it's the reason that she lost and the language in her, loss of her appeal that makes it kind of interesting. Is this court had determined that she did not engage in First Amendment protected activity because she was a public employee speaking about public business at all times. She was a governmental employee, and she was speaking about governmental matters. So they determined that nothing that she was talking about, any of her activity, was First Amendment protected activity. This is kind of, this is a nice little gem that's possibly going to grow into something bigger. But this is a, clear cut. A government official does not have First Amendment protected activity. They have public activity, which is different. They are public official activity. They are acting in their capacity as a public official. They're public employees. They're having public conversations, essentially. So yeah, this could grow into something. Eventually, somebody's going to quote this. The language in it is too dead on for individuals in this movement who interact with police officers and government officials all the time that claim that we are violating their First Amendment rights when they show up to do it to us. So like I said, the language in this will definitely be cited. It just hit March 1st. 1 second, I'm going to check these chats real quick. All right, moving along. Senate Bill 1421 in California. It amends Article 832.7, 832.8. This is in regards to peace officers and the release of records as far as, police brutality and things of that nature go. Disciplinary action. A local media station in California, KQED, has joined a lawsuit against the Attorney General and the Justice Institute. And what they are seeking is essentially to have it be obvious that Senate Bill 1421, approved by the governor September 30th, 2018, should be applied retroactively, as in all the records that they're currently trying to destroy because they think that this is a law that takes effect and it doesn't apply to the past. But they're seeking out to have it retroactively applied, and it's likely going to happen from what I'm reading. Another one would be Nolan Sousley, a gentleman named Nolan Sousley, Nolan Sousley. I think I'm pronouncing Sousley right. Could be Soule. Not really sure. Anyway, Wednesday night, video was uploaded onto YouTube of this gentleman in his hospital room. He had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. This is out of Bolivar, Missouri. Basically, about 3 police officers, maybe more, that I can't visibly see in the background. There's a little bit of view blockage, but there's at least 3 visible officers are basically there in his hospital room, rifling through his bags. They're searching all his property, and they get to this last bag that's his, and they want to search it, and he objects. He basically is insistent that this is his final day's bag, and that he's not going to be, digging through it in front of everyone. He essentially, this dude's just, it's a really fucked up story. The video had me kind of in tears, to be honest. They're your basic calm down. The guy has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and mind you, Missouri has a 65% public approval for the marijuana that they're searching for. medical marijuana was just legalized or ruled upon, something of that nature. Anyway, beginning of June, beginning of July, it goes into effect in Missouri. This dude may, in fact, die before then. He's in shit shape, stage 4 cancer. Needlessly though, the officers are there saying things as calm down. They just want to search for the marijuana. It seems that prior to the video beginning, they told him that he would be arrested, but then when he claims that he's going to be arrested, they say that they're only going to cite him. They're going to give him a ticket if they find the marijuana. He is, however, very open with his activity, and he's basically saying, "I'm fucking dying of cancer. I had some THC pills in this bag that I took in the parking lot, and I don't smoke ground up leaf cannabis." Individuals at the hospital claim they smelled cannabis, so long story short, they end up searching this guy's hospital room. Spoiler alert, they don't find any marijuana, as he told them multiple times they wouldn't. They find CBD, which is perfectly legal in Missouri. However, what I found to be the most interesting quote from this is, well, there's a couple. But this individual asked the cop, "What would you do? What would you do?" And the cop essentially tells him, "Oh, I'm not dying of cancer. I'm not in that situation. I'm not going to play the what if game with you." Yeah. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He's in the hospital dying. At one point, he just wants to be done with the entire thing. The guy, now mind you, they don't find anything. He basically tells them to just write him a ticket for the weed. The weed that he doesn't even have. He claims, "Write me a ticket. Just write me a ticket and get the fuck out of here." They can't do that. They're not going to write him a ticket for some shit that he didn't have. Hell no. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, we said we're going to search your fucking bags. And we mean all of them. Okay? Refuse until they search everything. He lets them search and everything. But long story short, this video, naturally, shit like this went viral immediately. The police department has since shut down their Facebook page. And the secretary for the police department is basically claiming that she's been called every name in the book by concerned citizens calling in. So, they've experienced a good percentage of the thrust that the First Amendment auditing community is willing to put out there to support an individual that something like this has happened to. So, if you're watching these videos and you're one of the people that seen that video when it first came out and called this department, good job. You've got them really concerned and thinking about the way that they behaved, and worried about the repercussions to this. This dude's probably not got a lawsuit, but this is horrible PR. This dude is literally in the hospital dying of cancer. He's incriminating himself by telling you guys that you're searching for the wrong marijuana. Like, yes, I had marijuana. I ate that shit. It's gone. I don't smoke pot. I take THC pills, and they're gone. Just write me a ticket and get the fuck out of here. They pursued this to the point of looking absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, if you're one of the people that called in, thanks. Great job. You helped keep these motherfuckers accountable, and this is the kind of thing that this is one of those extreme instances where phone zaps about the minimum of what you should be doing. All right, let me check this chat real quick. We'll move on to the big info of the night. Yeah, can't possibly be in any condition to consent. It's weed. That's the thing. Is people talk about the law and the law and the law. People are all about law and order. You know, I think people choose to disregard the law a lot of the times when they are when it's convenient, when they've been caught doing something, and you know they need a lie to get out of it, so they misquote the law. But this is one of those things. Like I've seen some very avid, you know, good cop quoters. There's, you know, don't let the bad cops ruin it for the good cops, and you know, people that pretty well support the police. You know, I've got a range of people on my social media with different opinions. I try to get multiple perspectives. I've seen people that hands down every single day support the police, no matter what they do that's fucked up, short of a few exceptions. This is one of the ones that got to them, you know. This had a lot of people saying that they would quit, and they would just deal with, you know, that, or they would refuse to follow whatever this bullshit call was. They would deal with the repercussions of some sort of disciplinary action as a police officer for doing the right thing, which is simply acknowledging there's nothing that you can do to punish the entire corrective action. Like we're not trying to help people when we arrest them for marijuana. We're trying to correct their behavior. You know, law enforcement has determined you've broken a law, so you must be punished. This is how our justice society works. Even in that delusional logic, this gentleman shouldn't have been targeted with this. You know what? The man's literally dying of cancer. That's a slow, painful, horrible death. And because he indulges in a little bit of cannabis, which his doctor was well aware of. His doctor is fully informed. He refused opiates, and that's the thing. Is the gentleman didn't want to be on narcotic painkillers to the point that he couldn't remember his last days, or he died early because he just slept and had no energy. You know, the medical properties of cannabis are phenomenal. This man may, you know, he could have already died if he wasn't smoking pot. You know, I can't prove that, but it's been shown through multiple studies to improve just about every aspect as far as dying of cancer. Right. None of this is on YouTube, Stoner. I'm the one putting it on YouTube. So the video's on YouTube, and video doesn't typically lie. But it's not something I've seen on YouTube. I actually read about shit that happens instead of sitting around with my thumb up my ass commenting on somebody else's videos. But anyway. So, last but not least, see that IH Zook? I got permission to go get a refill here in a couple minutes, or should I wait? I want to be rude to you with your rude ass. Always commenting with your rude shit. Anyway, oh, I love the trolls. You know, I think you guys are fucking hilarious. Sometimes the troll comments in the morning, like sometimes I wake up and I'm taking a shit and I'll just read stupid ass shit that trolls commented on my videos the night before, and it's amazing. It's some, like, I love when you guys butcher the English language and then it says edited. That's the best part, is when you take the time to edit this shit and it still sounds like a bunch of fucking gibberish. And the only thing I can make out is you calling me a bunch of fucking slurs. You know, but punctuation, grammar, correct spelling, basic third grade literacy. Nope, none of that shit. None of that shit. Fuck it. But you guys just keep on trying, man. It's like I said, I just monetized. Fucking, you guys do your thing, man. Comment away. Watch all this shit. Go for it. You're about to be part of the problem, not the solution. So, oh yeah, Civilian X. Nah, that's just a quickie. Yeah, Brandon Wilkerson. He's got a theft case, but he's a police officer, convicted. Did a deferment program, but this is one of the cops that they have write my police reports all the time. And if you're one of those officers, if you're an Indiana officer and you watch my videos for whatever reason, whether you're on duty or off, one of the things you should know is if you, prior to becoming a police officer, end up committing a felony and it's basically anything other than dismissed with prejudice, you need to have a buddy system going, okay? So whatever happens, when it comes time to write the report, you, the individual who's been essentially convicted of a crime of dishonesty, you're not a credible witness, so your police report's pretty much going to go right out the fucking window as soon as somebody like me, gets one of those. But it's, yeah, if you're an officer and you were convicted of some sort of crime of dishonesty prior to becoming a police officer, you should stick with the buddy system. Make sure you got a guy there with a clean record. It's like, like sometimes when you're a felon, but your girl's not, so she gets a carry permit. Like, that's how they should do it, the police. Like, I get it. You're going to, yeah, Brady listing. That's another thing. We'll get into that in another show. I've been wanting to touch on some of this as well. Credibility of officers and Brady list and things of that nature. But that's going to be another show. I'm going to do that justice. Give that a full show. Credibility. Anyway, so like I said, the bigger story we're going to do tonight, I'm trying to wrap this up here shortly. Like I said, I'm going to start doing the Fridays a little shorter so I can add in a Monday show. Anyway, Vice, the website, the organization Vice, they recently just ran a story on this. This would be, United States Supreme Court case number 18-949. This was filed Wednesday. This would be Jamal Knox, also known as Mayhem Mal or Mayhem Mal, M-A-L. I assume Mayhem Mal based upon the Jamal. Jamal Knox v. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, this isn't a new thing, but it's got some very new developments. Individual Jamal was arrested in 2014, and long story short, he was given 2 years for terroristic threats and witness intimidation. He named a bunch of police officers that had previously arrested him in a song called "Fuck the Police." Officers claimed that they feared for their safety, naturally, blah, 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 blah. But recently, several other rappers have come to his aid, and they filed a friend of the court brief. Kendrick Lamar, Meek Mill, Fat Joe, 21 Savage, Chance the Rapper, Yo Gotti. There may be a couple more. But essentially, they are addressing that, threats, intimidation, the typical police bullshit. I feared for my safety. This is going to likely be very similar to State v. Brewington here in Indiana, which, if you watch my channels, you've heard me refer to quite a bit. This would be the Indiana State case, where they sort of differentiate between a true threat and a threat against an individual's reputation. This has the potential to be the United States Supreme Court case where that exact same thing is decided on a federal level. This is another case that this is definitely going to escalate into precedent case law. This is in the United States Supreme Court now. You know, Riley v. California. There's a lot of stuff coming out of California with the police. Like I said, the KQED, that's out of Cali. But the Pennsylvania stuff, they've got all kinds of stuff coming out about the police as well. This is probably going to be one of their bigger ones. But yeah, this is one of those cases that you know, that it's all about First Amendment protected activity. Specifically the statement, "Fuck the police," and whether or not you can be sentenced to 2 years for terroristic threats and witness intimidation for saying "fuck the police" or putting their name in a song. But again, that's United States Supreme Court, docket number or case number 18-949. This was just filed 2 days ago on Wednesday. This is a friend of the court brief. Like I said, Kendrick Lamar, Meek Mill, Fat Joe, Yo Gotti, 21 Savage, Chance the Rapper. These are some bigger rap names. I knew who every one of these people were. I did not know who Jamal Knox was, but these rappers coming to his aid, his side, trying to help him out, and speaking on art versus threats. This has a lot of potential to turn into a very, very big First Amendment precedent type of case. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, again, United States Supreme Court, case number 18-949, filed Wednesday. That's Jamal Knox v. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Fuse my poor opinions. But the Nazi police is never going to do that, buddy list. That's crossing the blue line. Yes, it is. Bounty Man, Virginia. I do not screw with public employees. They are my employees. I am the public. I am guiding my employees. I'm not fucking with them. I'm trying to teach them how to do their job correctly. Anyway. Oh, Jake, you're here. You're late, bruh. Rico. Fucking dude. Anyway. Yeah, guys, I think that's about it. Actually, if you want some just all around interesting stuff here to read, this is from the University of Miami Law School Institutional Repository. It's from 1966, Margaret Buckley. This is the origins of diplomatic immunity in England. Diplomatic immunity is pretty much where sovereign immunity comes from. Qualified immunity. All of that originates from diplomatic immunity in England. Now, you may be wondering why we're bringing this up, and I'm going to show you. All right, so there's an individual named Alberto Gentili, and he is pretty much one of the three individuals that is viewed as the father of international law. A small quote from this is based upon Gentili. This is essentially where qualified immunity sort of began. This practical decision may well have led Gentili writing after consultation about Mendoza's position in the Throgmorton plot of 1583 through 1584, to say that conspiracy by an ambassador against the sovereign of the country in which he resided would render him liable to expulsion, whereas an actual overt act as a result of conspiracy would render him liable to punishment there. So, just a little bit of a name drop for my heritage, my DNA line there. But if you read up on qualified immunity and things of that nature, you should start at the beginning, in my opinion, and work your way forward. Makes a whole lot more sense when you figure out why it began and how. Anyway, that's this is, I think it's about 18 pages, maybe. Yeah, 18, 19 pages, not too bad. Anyway, Origins of Diplomatic Immunity in England, Miami Law School. 18, 19 pages, easily downloadable in a PDF if you want to check it out. That's about it. Like I said, short show tonight. Yes, sir, it is, Mr. Civilian. It is in my blood. The gunpowder plot of England takes place in Cofton Court. Most people don't know this. This is, Guy Fawkes, the anonymous mask. When you see one of these, you got individual Guy Fawkes. He was one of 5 individuals who helped plan the conspiracy to try to assassinate the Queen of England. Where all this took place is that, they planned all this potential gunpowder plot. Thomas Bates, I believe, was one of the individuals. Guy Fawkes, Robert Catesby. Anyway, when they planned all this, it happened in Cofton Court, which to this day is owned by the Throgmortons. I can track my shit all the way back to like 800 AD. Throgmortons are involved in they're one of the families that's persecuted during the Salem witch trials, when individuals were hallucinating from ergot wheat. Yeah, it's definitely in my blood. I've been doing this a long time. I found plenty of lawyers that were Throgmortons, all the way back. It's definitely in the blood. I ain't gonna try to plan no assassination of no Queen of England, but she is just a funny old lady in a little hat. So I wouldn't be too opposed either. Anyway, I'll get off here. I got some stuff to do. You guys take it easy. And thank you for watching the show. To my mods, I appreciate your support very much. To anyone that donates to the PayPal, thank you very much. To all you trolls that are about to buy me some stamps with this little pocket change from YouTube monetization. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your hate mail and your death threats and all this fun shit you guys send me to display your homophobia and racism and all this other bullshit. Appreciate it. I'm on your mind. That's says enough. Spend a half an hour typing up some sort of a fucking email where you call me a faggot and a cocksucker and all this other stuff 48,000 times. I must be doing something right. Anyway, yeah, thanks, James. Thank you, Jenny. Monday, I'm gonna try for 5 p.m. maybe 9 p.m. I might put out another poll in between then and now. You know, get a little feel for, you know, what's better time for who. With the lives, I do like to have some mods, so if my mods have a better time, go ahead and let me know. I can Monday evening, I'm pretty much free all evening, so, you know, well, from about 5 to 10, so, you know, I got about 5 hours to play with there. I'm only trying to do about an hour live, but if there's a better time, let me know. You know, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, but based upon the poll I recently put out, the first one, 5 p.m., 9 p.m. look like about the best times. You know, but Road Dog, honestly, I'm leaning more towards the 9. 5 is kind of early. I could be just getting home. Wife gets off work around that time. You know, it's, you know, dinner. It's kind of hectic and everything. 9 p.m. is a little easier for me personally. I'm kind of a little bit of a night owl. I'm usually up till at least midnight, but that's why I do this one starting at 9. But 2 hours is too much on one of these. You know, hour and 15, hour and 20, not too bad. But you know, I like to try to get a good bit of information out to you guys. You know, different stuff, but you know, it accumulates over the week. If I only do one show, I'm trying to fit it all in on a Friday. It ends up taking 2 hours and stuff. So I'm gonna try to break it down into 2 shows. That way I can sort of, you know, farming, huh? Evening is best. I feel you there. Or 5 a.m., right? Anyway, a farmer, huh? Yeah, we're getting a good variety. I don't know if farmers had time to watch YouTube videos. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of made my night, man. Yeah, pretty neat. Anyway, like I said, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you Monday for a live, most likely. If not, I will definitely see Friday for a live. But I'm gonna try to do Monday, starting out the you know, the new kind of thing that I'm doing here with multiple shows. If you see a Monday night show, that means I'm definitely probably going to try to have a Wednesday video up as well. But I'm waiting a little bit on the weather. You know, it's a little easier said done, or a little easier said than done, walking around for a couple hours collecting random footage right now because it's still pretty cold. But I'll do my best. You know, I want to show you guys the great parts of LaPorte, not just all the negative shit. So again, we'll get more to that later. With that, I'm out. You guys take her easy, stay safe out there, and thanks. Have a good one. If you want to waste your money, throw it at the PayPal. I'm sure one of my mods will drop that in there. If not, it's in the description. With that, you guys take her easy.